Okay, so today I have some copper piping and I had to cut it and I'm going to cap it. To cut it, I use this copper pipe cutter. People use hacksaws. I've seen people use sawzalls, all of that. Anything that works to cut it and not make sparks. Safety first. So before you even cut into your pipe, you want to make sure that the water is turned off. Once you cut the pipe, water is going to drip out, but it's not because the water is on. It's because there's excess water stuck in the pipe that needs to drip out. And before you can solder anything, you need to make sure that your pipe is completely dry on the outside and that no water is dripping out of it. So like I said, I've already cut the end of it. And so now I'm going to put one of these copper caps on it. It's 1/2 inch. So I'm going to take my emery cloth, and I've seen people use sandpaper, and basically you just want to clean the end of your pipe until it has that bright new copper color. You just want to keep going back and forth, making sure that's clean. Okay. Now I'm going to clean that. Now what I'm going to do is you want to have flux. The flux is what goes on the copper pipe before you even apply any heat to it. So what I'm going to do is, most people want to wear a latex glove to do this. I'm going to take a trash bag because my latex glove got wet and I don't want to put it on my hand when the pipe was dripping out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my plastic bag, I'm going to take my fingers, and I'm going to take some of this flux, and I'm going to rub it all around where I just cut. Get on there real good. Take some more. Get it on there real good. And then I'm going to take a little bit and I'm going to put it inside of the opening of my cap. I'm going to place my cap on. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my torch and I'm going to heat up the pipe. You don't want to heat, when you're soldering, you don't want to put heat directly on the solder because the only thing it's going to do is melt it and you're not going to have a good connection. You want to heat where you want the solder to go. So you want it to fill right there on the connection and you want the solder to be sucked into this fitting so there's no room for it to leak out water. So turn my gas on and I'm going to heat right here on the end. You want to get this hot. Get it from both sides. Move that wire out the way. If you're doing this like on a cabinet or somewhere that's not a basement where you just have joists, you might want to put a piece of plywood behind it or something that can't really catch on fire. You don't want to have that touching your drywall or any of that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. Oops. Oh, there it goes. And that heat will suck it in all around. I'm gonna heat it up again. I turned my fire off too soon. Make sure I get the top good. Like I said, you don't want to put heat right on the solder. Now that I think my connection is good, I'm going to take this rack, and I'm basically just going to clean it up. Right now it's hot. And then you can see if there's any spots you might have missed. I want to get that side one more time. So I'm going to turn my torch back on. You don't need to do it as much as this if you can get it on the first pass. But obviously, I couldn't get it on my first pass because I'm kind of in an awkward position. I can't really see the top of my copper pipe. So I'm going to be on the safe side and just do it multiple times. Clean that up. And then to clean it up again, you want to take some of your emery cloth. You want to sand it. Cleans it up. You should do this with gloves on. I don't have gloves on, but there's only one thing left to do, and that's to turn the water on. If it leaks, I did it wrong. I need to cut it and start all over. And if it doesn't leak, we're good. Well, I feel water coming through this pipe and it's not leaking. Let me turn up the pressure. Okay. Nothing's dripping. I would say that's a great connection. Now I'm just gonna cut out the rest of the pipe, and that's how you solder copper pipe. Cut it, make sure it's dry. Once it's dry, you want to apply flux to both the surface and inside your cap or your fitting. After that, you want to heat it, and then you want to take your solder and you want to apply pressure, and then the heat will suck the solder into the fitting, and it makes a good seal. And then at the end, you always want to clean up your fitting.